Right. I think this is it. Um, we'll find out, won't we? So this stream's going to be on like a 5 minute delay because I'm about to play poker. And I don't want to get sniped. But I have no idea if this is going to work. So I am very much going to wait until someone joins and it like officially goes live before I click in and start playing. So if you're... Do I need my headphones in? I don't think so. If you tune in now and you can see me, you can see my face, you can see these tables that we're observing, and everything is working and you can hear me okay, and all of these things, tell me in the chat and then I'll start playing. But quite literally, I've never streamed before. I have no idea what I'm doing. I just YouTubed how to do it all of an hour ago, and here we are. So we'll see. But yeah, for the meantime, let's fucking find out. Yeah, so I've clicked start streaming on OBS. Says we're still on a delay of 195 seconds. So yeah, apologies to the people who are just literally just going to tune in and like listen to me talking to myself for the next however many minutes that is, 3 minutes. But there we go. I just want to check that everything works before I start doing this because you know, I don't want to just start a session and then have to exit it. Even though it's Zoom, who really gives a shit? What do I need to say? Well, the kind of reason I'm doing the stream, for what it's worth, is I am running a boot camp, as you may have seen. There are quite literally 3 or 4 spots available still. So if you have been on the fence and been umming and ahhing, and then you're like, shit, I don't want to miss my spot, head to the link tree below, follow that little link, click bootcamp, sign up, fill out the form. That takes you about 30 seconds to do so, and then I'll get in touch. But yeah, honestly, like 3, maybe 4 spots remaining. So if you are potentially interested, just sign up and I'll get in touch. If you don't know what the boot camp is, obviously you can head to my Instagram and see the post about it, or you can watch the video that I made on YouTube, the 100 Zoom Play and Explain, which for the first 15 minutes of that video I was rambling on about it. And if you can't be asked to do that, then I'll tell you now. So essentially, this bootcamp is targeted for people who play 25 NL, 50 NL, 100 NL. But if you play 10 NL or 200 NL and you want to get involved, you know, don't let me stop you. But the idea is that the people who play, you know, those kind of stakes, 25 NL, 50 NL, 100 NL, are kind of, you know, serious poker players, but are a little bit neglected in terms of coaching. It's kind of difficult to get coaching if you play at those stakes, because you get priced out for, you know, the people who play, you know, mid to high stakes very often by a high hourly rate. If you get, you know, coaching that's from someone who plays only a stake above you, yes, it's going to be cheaper, but is it going to be beneficial? Is it going to be, you know, that much better than what you're already doing? Or you could go, you know, do a CFP. And there's nothing wrong with CFPs, but it's just a big long-term commitment. You know, if you play 50 NL, you probably don't play full-time. Do you really want to hit a volume target? Do you really want to give up 50% of your profits? Do you really want to commit to a year or 18 months in a contract? All of these things. So, yeah, we'll see. Andre, waiting. Okay. Can you tell me if you can see everything? So we should be live now, right? Yeah, looks like it. So I'm like on YouTube, I can see my face, I can see the things. Play, because I'm about to play poker. That's my voice. I think we're fucking set. And I think, okay, right, fuck it. I think we're away, so let's do it. Let's stop observing and let's jump in. We're on a 5-minute delay. There are 23 people in the pool. So this should hold firm. Looks to be working fine. It's pretty okay. Fucking unreal. Right. Queen 4, let's defend. I might need to turn the POKERSTARS sounds off because that's going to do my head in and you might be able to hear that as well. So bear with me on that. How the fuck do I do that? Queen 4 will call. Ace 2 will see bet versus a recreational. Sounds. There we go. Sounds. Off. Turn everything off, please. Right, that should work. No, it hasn't. I can still hear the fucking sounds. That's really annoying. Queen 4 doesn't look like an amazing bet. It's not the worst, though. We do block a lot of folds. I think we'll check. Let me try this again. Let's try that. Queen 4, we might have some showdown. Yeah, we do have showdown. We have Queen 9. We're fine. Let's apply that. I think that might work now. Holy shit, lots of people in the chat. Will the video remain up after the stream? I hope so. Yes. Let's 3-bet the King Jack. Perfect. Run hot. A live Pokerama stream. Has Christmas come early? Yes. My tree's been up for a week, so there we go. King Jack versus a recreational. This might annoyingly be a bet small and then bomb the turn to fold. We need a good turn, to be fair. That's not it. So I was kind of thinking bet small and then like bomb it to fold him off ace high. So like bet small, keep ace high in and then bomb the turn to fold it out. But we're not really going to fold it out on that turn. So I think check and give up. Yeah, from all of the comments in the chat so far, everything seems to be working okay. So I think we're fucking set. So let's get at it. We can concentrate on actually playing poker now, which is great. Yeah, King Jack just easy folds. What I'm actually gonna do as well is try and adjust my OBS so I can get the chat to the other side of the screen. Okay, this might be easier said than done. You'll have to honestly excuse my like complete noobishness here. Like, I have no idea what I'm doing. And yeah, I'm not all of a sudden going to become a poker streamer, but for the time being, we'll throw it in. So we've got the chat with a pop-up. I want the chat to come in here. Right. Sorry guys, bear with me. That lives in there. There we go. Now we're cooking with gas, aren't we? Right, Denmark probably is recreational. So we're just going to go 2/3 here. We don't need to go too big versus recreationals. That's a fantastic river. Called really quick. We check and let him bet. Is he going to bet? We need to play for the lot here. I'm honestly tempted just to jam. I'm going to go check jam, I think. Damn, I was hoping he would bluff hearts. A6, yeah, fair enough. Chat on screen, maybe. I don't think I got the room. Wait, can you not have... That's a good question, actually. Can you guys not see the chat? Well, that is a great question. Maybe I need to add that in. Yeah. Obviously, we're on a delay, so let me know. I'll be able to see it in a few minutes' time. King 8 will fold, Ace 5 will fold. Let me know in... Well, as soon as you hear that, if you can't see the live chat, because I've got it in like a pop-up. And then I can add it in the screen. I didn't realize that you guys couldn't see all the chat. Oh yeah, you can't, can you? I don't know, actually. Someone can tell me. This is nerve-wracking, you know. Can see why, like, I speak to Gazzy B all the time, and he's like, streaming's just like a lot of work. And I've always been like, well, from a mental game perspective, yeah, sure. But now I'm immediately just realizing like this is just a massive ball ache, isn't it? But there we go. Queen 10, we will call probably. Do we want to raise? Nah, we dominate folds a lot. We can call. Jack 10, we will open sometimes from these positions with regs only behind. Yeah, I thought if I was streaming, then the live chat would be like on your guys' screen. I could be completely wrong with that though. That's really annoying. Block on the turn. I think we need to defend at least sometimes. With our 2 overcards versus block, like it's a bit strong to be folding. Hello to Mr. Equanimity, very good player. Very good looking man as well. From Denmark, actually. I don't know, most pros don't actually play in Denmark anymore, but he does. But yeah, typical Dane, actually, just very good looking. Queen High, we've got showdown value, I think, and we've got better hands to bluff. We're also only going to value bet an 8. I've got like 5, 6 and stuff like that. So yeah, I think Queen High's got enough showdown here to check. Potentially, at least. Who are you? Brazil, sort of semi-recreational reg thing. I think we'll just start with a bet here with Jack 10. So the 2-2, like 5 sort of board is the lower the pair, the less you bet, generally speaking. But when it's like a pair of 2s, there's not much 2x that I need to be worried about. On the King Jack of Hearts, if they give up, King Jack of Hearts give up. If they check back, do we consider bluffing the river? Yes. Ace 5. This is still a strong board for him. So I think I'm just going to go a little bit more equity driven. Seems like the camera stops every now and again. Okay. I will bear that in mind. I say I'll bear it in mind. I have no idea how I would fix that, but it might be. I don't know. I'm getting a little flicker, but I think it's the light behind me. How dark is it without? Oh, pretty fucking dark. Ace 5, I'm kind of tempted here to throw it in now. Because I would check back like a lot of King X here, and now I'd start betting. Still going to have like King 10 and stuff. And in terms of a hand 2 bet, like, it ain't the worst. Who are you? So we've got recreational here, 70 hands. Looks really spewy, just from everything that I've seen from the HUD here. So I might just go really small and just try and induce a raise out of him. Drag the chat down because PokerStars is covering it right now. And we do get the raise out of him. Now we're just going to click call a few times. What I'll do then, Yuri, is I'll make the... I think we just have to jam now. The issue is like calling, there's too many bad rivers. And we're going to get it in good more often than not here. Yeah, sure. Right. So the chat is on the right hand side, I think. So if I make the fucking tables a little bit smaller, then the chat should go there. Unless I am very much mistaken. Is there a way for me to like view this full screen? I'm just going to fold this. I think I see what you mean. In the like the tables just cover the screen, and then I'm guessing the chat's just on the right hand side, like popping up, and then PokerStars is kind of killing it. Right, bear with me then. Let's make these smaller by a little. Maybe if I do it like in the left hand corner like that. The pop-up was visible until PokerStars Zoom covered it. Okay. This is the problem with having stuff on a fucking delay, isn't it? If I do it like that, that might work. If it doesn't, I will watch this back and yeah, we'll give it a go. But that, if I'm assuming the chat comes up on the right hand side, hopefully that is a little bit easier, and hopefully the screen, you know, the two tables are still pretty easy to see. So yeah, we'll give that a go. Let me know how, if that has worked or if I've just made it even worse. Olka says, hey Elmo. Hello Olka. And yeah, I mean, recreational, it's one of the ones on the flop here. Like, I like to actually call it the rule of Saulo. The rule of Saulo Costa, basically, if a fish raises you in a free bet pot versus a small C bet, I think we actually nearly pure fold this. Then they're just bluffing very, very often. So yeah, it was a pro tip I got from one of his YouTube videos, and he's obviously done all the hard work and analysed all the data, and I've just shamelessly copied it because it's a good idea and I think he's right. So we bet super small, and then we do get the raise, and then we just allow our opponent to do it. Chat on screen is so that people can see what you're doing with the delay. Okay, I don't know, I'm just confused now, man, I'm sorry. I don't need to move anything else, right? I don't need to like put the chat. I don't know. We have it like this now. Everyone who is currently watching, give me a thumbs up if it works and it looks okay. If not, I'm going to need to get on like a Discord call with someone going forward and try to figure out what the fuck's going on with the stream and how it looks. But I think I've got it like on YouTube on the other screen, so I can kind of see. Well, I can see this, essentially. Do we want to call or do we want to squeeze? I think squeeze is better. I think like folding out Mr. Strodge's like king jack off, king queen off here, and then getting this guy to call whatever he wants is probably going to be best. I suppose now that I've made this smaller, I can make the replayer a little bit bigger, right? King 10, I think, folds. King 2. Actually, yeah, I think we can open this with a recreational here. There we go. That's a little bit better, isn't it? So, yeah, when he, like, raises the flop, he just doesn't have anything good. The turn isn't great, and then he, like, you know, he will have a flush every now and again, or king 10 or something, sure. But when he goes this size and we've only got 77 behind, like, usually if it was like a brick turn, I would just call and, like, allow him to keep blasting it off. But the issue is with this turn is, like, if I do that, there's too many rivers, which I'm just kind of like, holy shit, like, what do I do? Like, a 10, a king, a heart, for example, where I really don't love it. So I'd rather just get it in now. And as I say, the good thing about this is when we do get it in now, like, we do just get it in good, like, really often. So recreationals, doing recreational things. I think ace queen will 3-bet. So yeah, this is like we can call this a test stream where you know, everything that goes wrong, I can try and fix for the next one. I'm only going to do a handful, like probably 2 or 3, and then we'll GG it and call it a day. That is a very nice flop. So I'm not like a streamer now or anything like that, but I thought whilst I was going to run the boot camp and we've got a couple of extra sign-ups still available, why not jump on YouTube and do some streaming. Plus, I've never done it, and I kind of always been intrigued, like, how fun it is. Going to raise, like, sometimes with our nuts here versus 10%, but my high roll is passive, so. And I mean, I'm just rolling a rough number. If I see a high number, I'll just go and call. If I see a low number, I'll just go and raise. On the turn, our opponent does have just like a lot of check folds. So then there's a little bit, there could be a bit of merit checking back and allowing him to bluff some of that on the river. But on these mono boards, I don't actually see that happening very often. So I think I'm going to fast play a little bit more. But on, again, the high roll, I'm going to go with a check. Because I do think, you know, you want some nuts in that checking line here. Just, you know, induce something, for example, or whatever it might be. River, I'm going to have a size for... Do I just want all in? Or do I want a 2/3? Do I want to value bet 10s, basically? Maybe. Let's go with this. I'm going to go all in sometimes and we'll have this, like, again, 50-50. It's so rough, man. But I think I want to value bet, like, 10s. If I get here with, like, aces, I want to value bet for this size as well, actually thinking about it, and queens and kings if I get here with those hands as well. So just throwing in some nutted hands in into this size as well on the river should be fun. Obviously have some all in as well. But that's kind of something I do there, where I do think, like, honestly, I think his range is kind of weak. So I definitely want the 2 sizes, and I just think that throwing some really strong stuff into the smaller size is going to be beneficial as well. Like, I think the EV is close. I mean, yeah, there you go. You've got stationed by ace king, so, which isn't, you know, it's fine. Don't see why that wouldn't be fine, but. Yeah, my bad for the first. I thought it would be an easy fix. You're clearly speaking to the wrong guy, mate. For a seasoned veteran of you know, YouTube streaming, maybe that would be an easy fix, but I don't think you can quite comprehend just how unbelievably bad I am kind of understanding this shit. I literally just watched a YouTube video for how to set up a stream, and here we are. Do I ever want a flat here? Keep the fish in. I am tempted, you know, because ace king in these positions, it's an okay 3-bet. We'll 3-bet this time, but I might throw some flat in. Yeah, and this is also the benefit of 3-bet, like he will call. It's just impossible to communicate with a 3 minutes delay. Yeah, I know. Unfortunately, not much I can do about it. I have to put it on a delay, unfortunately. Just never betting ace king here at this point. Fizzy Tony, a great tip from Saulo. His MDA based exploits are awesome. Yeah, I'm a big fan of Saulo Costa, so you know, hello mate if you're watching. I always enjoyed his Run It Once videos when he did them, you know, a few years ago now. I think the guy makes very good content. Like his marketing is like on like next level, like in terms of like how to market like a course like he's just done, for example. Like, yeah, he gets it. He is, I think he calls himself like a businessman nowadays, but he is that. Like he's pretty fucking good at it, and he's also obviously a very good poker player. But yeah, the work he's done on like the MDA stuff and you know, how to get the maximum from recreationals and things like that, like I've taken a lot from, and you know, into my own game. And yeah, I think he's kind of a similar spot, but this guy's not as big a recreational, it looks like, so we'll just go 3-bet. But yeah, I've got a lot of respect for Saulo Costa. I really do. I think he's, you know, the YouTube stuff he puts out is fantastic. And I've learned a lot from watching his YouTube and Run It Once over the years. And there you go. Look, you know, it won me $200 there. So, I mean, I probably would have played the hand the same way anyway, even if I didn't know all that stuff. But you know, yeah, he's really, really good. So, you know, go check out his YouTube if you've not done that already. But I mean, I'm imagining if you're watching me on YouTube, you've already watched him. Jacob is a big nitfish. Who's Jacob? Is it the big blind with the bull? I'll have a look in a minute. Nines, I think, just checks. I don't think I'm going to bluff nines no heart here after a range bet on the flop. We'd bluff like sevens with a heart, eights with a heart, I think, fours, threes, twos. But nines, I think, is just a bit too high up in this particular line. Eights, it's not a great board, this, but I think 8-6 in terms of a hand I would bet. I wouldn't mind betting it, but I'll also put it into the delay line. Overbet on the river. Does have natural bluffs, but he doesn't actually get to overbet a lot here. I think it's like flushes or bet. I think 2-pair feels greedy. Probably fine. King, queen, queen, jack, king, jack. That's a lot of hands. Yeah, I think we actually call here. I hate it, but I think we call. Just because on the river, like king, queen, jack, king, queen, he has them all off suit. And he's going to flatten them all pre-flop, pretty much. And they all have no showdown value. I think they all bluff, and I think that's too many hands to bluff, or to potentially bluff. I think you have to give a lot of that up, and I'm not sure he will. Yeah, I mean, it's very, very thin with the ace queen there. Like, it's a bit greedy, but it's probably fine in reality. Jack 6, I like raising here, actually. Let's go with that. Like, it's definitely greedy, but probably fine in reality when you consider, like, a 200 zoom player pool probably doesn't, like, check back enough flushes here and strong hands. That's an unbelievable turn. Poland, I don't know if this is a recreational or not, but we are going to fire the absolute life out of that turn and just go for it anyway. And we're supposed to see incognito search history bottom right. I'll come back to that. Tens, honestly, I think it's a nice check, to be fair. Don't think we're range betting this at all. We've 3-bet a quite polarized range. Ace high board in a 3-bet pot usually needs check. Is this a reg or recreational? I'm not sure. Definitely want to check in range here. King 9 can definitely do that. Yeah, this is close. This is... Does he have natural bluffs? Yes. Yeah, this is like a 0 EV. Might be a pure fold. Might not. I'm going to spin it. And on the turn here, I'm going to play polarized, and we'll find it this time. I don't know how I feel about that river. It's a pretty neutral river. I think I've got some 4x. I don't think he's got masses of it either. If he doesn't, I probably do better on that river. Let's just 3-bet the King Jack. I don't turn my hand into a bluff, right? Nah. I mean, I lose infinitely here, but we beat that. King Jack pure. Actually, hold on a second. That's so tight. Do you know what? You win. That is too tight for me to be calling King Jack. Ronnie, I joke about my incognito search. Well, the whole idea of incognito is you don't have a search history. I think. Correct me if I'm wrong. King 3 will just play pure call, I think. This is nice. This is nice. I feel in the groove of it now. I've like stopped panicking about whether the stream works or not. It's all Yuri's fault. But not really. Thank you for the feedback, because yeah, I don't know what I'm doing. And I'll maintain that. Ace King, we mainly want to play flat. We'll 4-bet a decent wedge of the time. I don't know. 25% 4-bet, the rest call. Seems fine. And we just fold King 3 here. Jack Oliver, he's the guy who came 3rd in the main event, isn't he? I know of him. I don't know him, I don't think. That's annoyingly close with Ace King versus half pot. I think just call. I think it's also pretty... That might be a bit of a simplification. Like a lot of people are just going to half pot the range here, which is probably okay. But I think, therefore, Ace King's just going to call every time. Quite a quick check on the turn. Oh, we get to spin the card X. Fantastic. We'll put that down there for a second. Do we want to bet Ace King? We dominate the folding range pretty hard. It's got a lot of EV checking. Why would I bet? I don't want to get raised either. Yeah, let's just check. I think he's a bit too strong to bluff. I actually would prefer like bluffing 4s here. King 8 will fold for now. Alright, up the card X. Was it $20? Hey, why not? Do I want to bluff Ace King on this river? How many good hands am I? I'm going to check back Queen Jack. Yeah, I think I've got enough showdown with Ace King. Ace Queen bluff. Ace King check. It's quite a difficult one to kind of figure out that. I'm going to have a look at that in my own time later. I'm Japanese. Please teach me how to red line. Konnichiwa? That's Japanese, isn't it? I will do my best. I don't know how my red line will be in this little session. My red line has been temperamental. Like, first half of the year, massive. Second half of the year, like, losing. But I definitely know how to do it when I want to do it. I'm just kind of trying to find the happy medium with my game. But I will do my best. I will do my best in this session for you to teach you how to redline. Generally, find more aggression in spots where people don't. Fold less. Can I defend Ace 9 versus this size? It is sort of fine. Simon, when you say Rex like to raise bluffs, bluff raise small bets in 3-bet pots, is this specifically in position? Yes, generally. At a position, I find they're a little bit more sort of face up, but To be fair, I don't think it's that positionally relevant. Just going to play pure call ace 9. And that could be a recreational. I'm not sure yet. Finland, we'll see. We'll pro call this. What are stats that influence you to call? So yeah, if basically like the guy, I had like 70 hands on the guy, but when you hover over like this and you can see like, this is the nice thing that Poker Tracker does, it shows you like the 3-bet range, 4-bet range. His 4-bet range was king queen off, plus like 37 over 29 or whatever it was. I want to bet some flush draws, but I might not want to bet this one. Let's let the gods decide. I might have spun the RNG twice there, I don't really know. I'm going to bluff this now. Sizing. Yeah, let's go that. So yeah, his 4-bet plus range or whatever it was king queen off, and that plus like 37-29 or whatever it was over 70 hands just indicates to me like aggressive recreational, essentially. Oh, big blind 3-bet in range, c-bet the flop with range, and then check the turn, and then bluff bet that size on the river. This feels full of it to me. The jack is good for him though. So we'll go 50-50 because, but he's not going to bet that size with a jack. No, actually, I like the fold. I like the fold. I'm running out of time bank. It's a problem. Can anyone see my post? That'll be up to the chat to decide. I'm not sure. Ah, there you go. Ace 10, you can go both ways, but still dominate a lot of the calls here. Like Equanimity's got a float Jack 10 and 10 9 and all the ace highs, so this will be fine. Yeah, this is big blind 3-bet in range, which is usually quite strong, but like King X and then check turn, and then this size on the river is like actually going to be in terms of a line and a size, I think pretty overbluffed. But the way the board is, there isn't that many hands that make sense as a bluff here. Queen 10. Because like 9-10 will barrel turn, 4-5 will barrel turn really often. Ace 5, ace 4, sure. Might even lose to bluffs. Checking the turn with the ace 10 seems fine, and I think just check fold versus that size and move on with our day. Yeah, he might even show me ace 10 or ace queen there. I kind of still feel like it's overbluffed. Maybe I should have jammed. Could have been a fun thing to do. Yeah, I can't quite work out if this guy is recreational or not as yet. Maybe. Let's start with a check. Just because I kind of want to see what he does. Kind of see what size he bets. How quick he takes. What size is that? It's not a very recreational sort of size, that. Plus Finland is usually like quite a strong player. We'll see. We'll play it out. Oh, fuck. Sorry, didn't mean to do that. Yeah, don't know yet. Still calling, obviously. Don't think do I want to raise? It's not the worst raise ever, but I have a lot to pick from. I think it's just got lots of EV calling. Like I've got a million bluff raises in this line, so I'm not sure I really need to pick King Jack all that often, at least. Please show us your poker tracker stats after the session. Sure thing. What the fuck is that? I guess fold like for like into a pretty uncapped range to shove all in there. I mean, again, Finland makes me want to call. It really does, but generally speaking, if my range is pretty, I mean, it's not completely uncapped at this point because I would raise the turn a lot, but into a pretty uncapped range, when there aren't many natural looking bluffs, I'm saying that ranges are really wide, so there are lots of bluffs to pick from, but yeah, I don't know. I'm making a mental note of that from Mr. Hennessy because the next time he does something pretty, pretty mental, like shove all in there on the river or something like that, I might be a bit more inclined to call. New video is coming. We're live, Joaquin. We are live. How to red line? Don't bother. Green line. Green line is the way. But oftentimes your red line contributes heavily to your green line. But you can take it too far. I've definitely been there and done that as well. But yeah, green line is the most important line, is the old cliche. Go all in pre-flop every hand and you'll have a great red line. You probably will. Eight, 8-5 fold, yeah. King Queen fold as well. Mr. Japan, thank you very much. I love your video. Sorry, your name is in Japanese writing, so I wouldn't even know where to start in terms of how to pronounce that. So you can be Mr. Japan for now, unless you tell me your name. But thank you. I appreciate the positive feedback. I really do. I remember when I first started doing YouTube, or thinking about doing YouTube, and genuinely was terrified that I was just going to get a lot of shit from people, and people are just like, "You're shit. You don't know what you're doing. You're a wanker." But and Instagram as well. But overwhelmingly, what do I say? This guy overwhelmingly, the feedback that I get on all the videos and all the stuff I post is really, really positive, and I don't take it for granted. I really don't. It's really, really nice. Makes me feel warm and fuzzy inside. The reason we're 3-betting the threes is because this guy's just really fucking tight and doesn't 4-bet. Now, when we get called 4-bet, threes is actually a really good hand to click call with. But probably not every time. So we'll do it sometimes. Could have done with flopping a 3. But you can't have it all. I'll do it. Checks, does he? Check. Why the fuck are you checking? Not putting any money in. Kind of smell a rat a little bit. That's just a range bet. I don't know what we're doing. All right, have ace king and check, please. It's a really quick check. I'm just wondering if I think I've just got too much showdown value. I think it's just ace high a lot. Or tens, but why? Why would you let me show that down? Yeah, I don't know. That's the least Brazilian line I think I've ever seen in my life. But fair play, fair play. I'm not here to judge. But I was a little bit judgy there, wasn't I? I'm going 12. I think 7-6 is one of those. I don't think it has to be half the time or anything. Probably a 30% or something. I don't know. Ace Queen, we could definitely stab smaller. I mean, when you get this kind of board, he's range checking. And I think we have a high frequency stab ourselves. So ace queen you can actually stab and get caught by a lot worse. Like ace 10 suited and stuff with backdoors. But we don't have to stab ace queen. We just obviously dominate a lot of the folding region as well. Kind of still expecting my opponent to arrive to the turn here with a really wide range. I think if I check twice, I could induce bluffs on the river. That's a bad river though. You can definitely value bet every king. Could probably value bet 10s as well. Yeah, and that king quite quick. So the only real question here is whether I want to raise or not. I don't think I do. Queen jack, queen 10, and then ace high. Just snap ace 10 and bluff for that size. I think we're folding. Though. Gonna start bluffing the turn here with a 6-5. Kind of autopilot check that. I would definitely bet it sometimes, but check is also good. So on the turn here, I'm just using 40%. I'm going to build this just around like a queen or pocket 10s or some 9x and stuff. It's definitely a high EV river for me, I think. Like a lot of my bluffs just completed. So I think we'll bluff 6-5 every time. In terms of sizing, we'll probably play some block and overbet, and I'll just do a bit of both here. We'll go block, block, and pretend we have queen 10. And we'll try and get him to fold like 8-7 or ace 10 or ace jack or something. Yeah, I think like overbet built around a king or 2 pair. I think king jack's probably the threshold. King 10, king jack, you probably overbet and get away with it. And then block built around, yeah, ace queen or queen jack, or probably all the way down to like 10s. Ace 9 maybe you could get away with. But this is it's a nice example, like the 6-5 there, of why, like, because a lot of people would just go, oh, I've got a gut shot, backdoor flush draw, let's just see bet. But like, it's actually a really nice one to throw in once you get into these delay lines. Like having hands like this in these kind of lines is really nice. This has a lot of EV checking, actually. I might just go with that versus a recreational. Let them kind of tell me what they have on the turn. And 6-5 on the river is a nice bluff. Like unblock folds pretty hard. Like he's got his folds are going to come from like jack x, 10x, and ace high a lot. He checks quite quickly. Let's just start betting. King jack versus this unknown guy from South Korea. We'll just pure call. Not my favorite river in the world, the 9. I think most recreationals would lead though. There you go. He does lead. Pro tip number 1, like just fold to overbets from recreationals. Call every other size basically, but fold to overbets. So I don't know this guy. Looks kind of reggy. I'm gonna shrug and click call. Not really incentivized to raise any hand on the flop there. 10s, queens, they just want to call. Aces just wants to call and let him blast, so. Oh, fuck. I think I'm going to jam. Let's run it twice on here because it's a reg. Yeah, I think I'm going to jam because I think I can fold him off ace, jack, ace, queen. Sorry, ace, jack, and ace, king. And if we get called, we can always get there. So in terms of like finding a bluff, it's about as clean as it gets, isn't it? So because that's kind of the issue there. Like the problem is I will brick the river more often than not, and then I'll just face and then you know, let's say the river's a 4, and then he jams ace king, right? And then I hate my life and have to fold. Whereas I could just jam the turn and, you know, get fold out ace king, which is a pretty fucking good result, really. And you know, when you consider like he has probably, well, not 16 combos because we've got the king of clubs, but all of the combos of ace king there all make sense in that line as well. I think it's a very big portion of his range, and therefore we can just look to look to destroy it really with a jam there. Queen 10. Oh, in half tempting to flat with these guys, but they're not massive recreationals, so. Yeah, he must just be on holiday in Brazil. Yeah, that's a great comment. I like that. He's just visiting. Yeah, really not the most Brazilian hand I've ever seen there. Default of 3 bets. Not so far. So yeah, let's put a little bit of extra juice in there then, shall we? Gabby Igna's a name I recognise from like the very, very old days, I think. Didn't he play weird? I'm sure he does some weird and wonderful stuff. Super aggressive, maybe? Is a name I recognise for some reason. But yeah, that ace king hand, I mean, versus my threes, I don't know, it's a bit criminal. Like the thing with it is, like, in a pro tip, bear with me. Yeah, I'm going to check the flop, but I am going to start bluffing this later. It's not a great check, but it's not a great bet either. Where the fuck are those pocket threes? How many hands have I played since? Have I gone past it? Yeah, I might have done, you know. Yeah, I just folded it. Oh, fuck you. Right, I'll try again. I'm just going to try and find it. It's an interesting hand. There it is. Like a pro tip for you, you know, in 4-bet pots, especially 4-bet pots where you've cold 4-bet rather than just like 4-bet. His cold 4-betting range here, right, is going to be aces through 10s, maybe some 9s, and then ace king, ace queen, ace jack, some ace 10. This is like a mix, I think. Some ace 10, king queen, king jack suited. Basically it, right? That range is really strong. I'm going to open this because this guy's is he a big nit? We'll fold for now. So that range that I've just, you know, rattled off is unbelievably strong. And when you think about, this guy looks really nitty, so we'll go with this. When you think about my range, obviously my range has pocket threes in it. My range has 6-5 suited in it, 5-4 suited. My range misses this board way more than his, right? So like he just has a huge range advantage. And that's very often the case in 4-bet pots because the ranges are super narrow and the ranges are super weighted towards aces, kings, and queens. So on boards like this, where aces, kings, and queens are basically the nuts, your range advantage is just very often massive, like 60-40 in terms of equities. So this is why in 4-bet pots, like, the general rule of thumb is you just get to range bet, right? You just get to range bet as the aggressor really often, especially when you've called 4-bet, because your range is even stronger. Again, looser open, tighter guy up here. So to get Jack 9-2 and just check ace king and check it quite quickly, I just think is not great. But, you know, in before someone pulls up the GTO Wizard sim and sees that, you know, he has a checking range on this board. But I would be very surprised. Of course, he's just winning. He just smashes it. So just range bet small and go from there. King 6-5 is, you know, when we talk about range bet small, I'm going to do that. Likewise, I'm going to do that here as well. This is going to be a pretty cool barrel, I think. Like block king 10, block king 9, Range is still doing very well. Yeah, I think I'll just fire this. Looking to just fold out 6x, 5x, ace high. 7s, 8s, maybe at a push. Unfortunately, when he calls twice and he's tight, I think he now just has trips really often. Because I think he would have just overfolded the turn a lot. And the 8 might still call pocket 8, so he might have even improved. So I think I'm just going to give up. In theory, this is probably like a really good bluff. But in reality, I just don't see it. So 6x of diamonds, that's annoying. That's one of the hands I would have folded. I suppose I didn't really think about 6x. It's not a massive portion of his range, though. I don't think we need to lose any sleep over it. Do we fold jack? I think we must fold jack 10 at some frequency in those positions. Could be wrong. I don't know. Pre-flop. Pre-flop is pre-flop. Concurrent viewers, 62. I mean, there's 62 people are watching. That's cool. That's nice. That's a good number. Hi, everyone. I'm probably gonna like run the stream until 7 o'clock, I think, something like that, and then I'm gonna go have some dinner and watch The Day of the Jackal, which I'm like a few episodes in on, which is really fucking good so far. So if you haven't watched that already, it gets my recommendation. This guy's my red tag, but he doesn't look very red taggy. I mean, I try and keep my tags to myself, but like it's pretty obvious red means aggressive, so yeah. So yeah, The Day of the Jackal, go watch it. And I'm gonna watch it later on. But yeah, we'll go till 7 o'clock, so what, like 2 hours more? Seems pretty cool. 10-9's a loosey goosey defend. Probably a mix. I don't think it's pure. That's close enough for me. And Queen Jack with a table full of regs is going to be a mix. Quick half pot from Mr. Strudge. So we are deeper here, so we're not going to check raise as aggressively as we might have done previously. I think check call's quite nice with 10-9. I think on a 10, he's like, if we do turn 2 pair, he's going to be really aggressive. And we don't need masses of protection. Give me like 9-6, 9-7 suited or something. 9-8 suited. I think I like a check raise for like a little bit of protection and stuff, but King 10, do we want to free bet this? I don't think very often. And get the King 10 and we get the small over bet. Yeah, I mean, he gets to be very aggressive here. This is a bad hand to call. Like, I don't like seeing a 10 river now. But I think if I'm going to station here, I'll fold this and call 9-6 because my outs are cleaner. King 10 here will just call. That is also a turn that he does get to be really aggressive on. There are a lot of straight draws out there though, so it is really easy to overbarrel and overbluff. But so you could make the argument for just calling every top pair there, and probably it's okay. But I'm pretty okay with my differentiation of like 9-8, 9-7, 9-6, 6-5, you know, 4-3, pure call them and fold this one because the 10, you know, if you want to talk about blockers, just fold this. Blocks, what the fuck is that? The blocks a lot of bluffs. What the fuck is that? I'm going to call and lead, I think. Yeah, good luck. If it was me, right, and I bet that size on the turn, I'd build it around like 8s. So I don't love check raise because I'd rather get the safe river. But I think call and lead and now just murder his like, you know, bet small turn check back river kind of hands. Sure. Sevens will call it a recreational in the big blind. My red line is -2. Tomorrow I will watch this video with trance later. Trance is in trance music. Yeah. That'll get your red lining. I don't have any music on this stream, by the way. I don't know the rules. I'm gonna fold to Felipe. He's quite a good player and aggressive, so I think just I'm gonna get myself into trouble there with sevens. Yeah, so I don't, I know a lot of streamers just play music, don't they? But I think on YouTube, like, the worry is if obviously this stays on YouTube afterwards, then like if I play actual music, doesn't like it get copyright infringed, which would be a bit annoying. So if that's wrong, by the way, please let me know, and then I can add some music in. But check this back sometimes. I think it's pretty nice. It's pretty nice hand to check as well as bet. But we do get to bet really often, obviously, on this board. Ace check on the 7-turn. Looks like a pretty default check to me, I think. Not a bad river, actually. King turn here. Definitely can. Barrel definitely can check as well. King's not great. I'm going to mix it up. I'm going to be quite polarized here. Just under part A. Jack 10 misses. Queen Jack misses. 10-8 misses. 10-6 misses. The size is not ideal. Just folding here. But so much misses. It depends whether he gives them up or not. I think we call, but I hate it. There's just a bit too much misses there. It's too easy to just try and bluff me off this kind of hand. And on this kind of run out, like you can only, for that size, it only has a king. So I think it's just a bit too tempting to get a bit out of line with the bluffs. Because I think he just has to give up like a lot of hands like this, with how bad the run out is for like his range. Or both ranges, really. It's going to range bet the ace jack 8. Harry Ross in the pool. Hello, Harry. Very nice guy. Not met him in real life. We just spoke on Instagram a little bit. And I think he lived in Thailand. Yeah, very nice dude. Whilst we've got a bit of a lull in the action, I'm going to be releasing a video this week, hopefully, with a mid-stakes player where we're both kind of just jumping on a video and talking about the low-stakes trap and how to escape that. So again, targeted at you guys who play 50NL, 25NL and so on. The guy who I'm getting on, I won't reveal just yet, because I'm not sure if he would want me to. I'm sure, well, actually, I don't know if he really cares, but is a mid-stakes player, extremely good, very, very good player, and very nice guy as well. So stay tuned for that. I'll probably upload that video. We haven't recorded it yet, but it'll probably be uploaded by the end of the week or something. But yeah, it's just like it's not really a podcast, but just like a 45-minute conversation. from two guys who have played low stakes and have made it out of that trap, and talking about all the traps that you can fall into, you know, what to avoid, what to focus on, you know, answering a lot of questions that I know a lot of guys who play, you know, as I say, 50NL and stuff have. So yeah, should be a fun one and something a little bit different to put on the channel rather than just, you know, Play and Explains. I guess you can lead this board. It's like massively low frequency. Just going to shrug and call King 6. It's going to turn a lot of equity, so I think we just got a pure continue. Yeah, versus that, pretty easy continue on the turn. We still beat all of the bluffs. He'll be really aggressive when this turn comes in. Obviously, we can river a free as well. So I think call's going to be pretty great. Yeah, it's pretty fucking rapid 3 bets there from the boy. Jack's not great because if it was me, I'd like bluff like Jack 9 and stuff. Random 10x. I guess the 6 becomes kind of bad now. I really don't know if this is going to be overbluffed or not. The run out's pretty good for him in a lot of ways. And I guess it depends, like, how is he, you know, if he just has like 10-7 of clubs or something, right? Like, is he actually finding the lead on the flop? Or is it just going to be natural shit? I think that's the crux of this, so I think we want to fold. Could we use the same argument and fold the turn? Probably not for the size, because we're just so live. But yeah, I think, you know, he acted quite quick there. And I mean, fair play to him if he's, you know, I mean, again, he's from Brazil. So fair play to him if he's found the 10-7 of clubs or something like that there, which would be a pretty nice bluff at that point. But I think we want to call. Like, never fold King Jack here, but I might be wrong because this positions are so tight. But I think being a little bit deeper means we can flat a bit more. His combo raise king off checks 13%, which is the most of all. Might be a super prop. There you go. Spun the RNG and rolled the 13% check. Just range bet. I'm going to play pure call. Not going to play a raising range on this board in these positions. I would like there to be... What would I prefer? I would prefer a 10. That's my favourite river that I would like to see here. That's a fun size. Now, do I jam? Ooh. I definitely want to jam some hands here. This is going to be up there. I'm going to jam this half the time. Damn it. In it goes. Let's run twice. Again, we fold out spades. We fold out bluffs. I want to jam in, honestly, like, give me 3s and flat 6s. I'm going to want to jam them in. Might even want to jam 9s. Because you basically want to get called by kings and aces and ace queen, and you want to fold out spades and stuff you're vulnerable to. And like, if you have 9s, there's like infinite rivers that you don't really want to stack off with anymore. So you kind of just want to get it in now. So then again, picking the bluffs is pretty fucking easy, right? You just pick some kind of combo draw with no showdown, and that should be all right. Done that twice now with these. I think it was King Jack both times, wasn't it? And both have got through, so run good for the stream. I don't think this is a range bet. I could simplify it. It might make a pretty good turn barrel. Fuck it, let's simplify it. What's the worst that can happen? The worst that can happen, I mean, it's not like it happened. I think we're generally, when we're out of position here, like, I'm going to play polarized, and I don't think we're finding any kind of no equity bullshit, or very minimal. It's going to range bet 6-5. That was a quick check, wasn't it? Yeah, we are going to bluff 6-5 here. It's a pretty neutral river, but like 6-5 of diamonds I think is a fine bluff. For sizing, let's go over bet this time, shall we? I'll just over bet ace-10 here all day long. 6-5 in this one, we're going to mix between bet and check. I think pot is about right here. We would definitely want to be sizing up and just really going after him with like ace-queen type hands, sevens and stuff. 6-5 is as good a candidate as any, but I think we probably want to play some check as well. It'll go check a lot, river some disguised flushes, I guess. Might be a pure bet, not too sure. Honestly, I think the give up is okay with ace king when jacks and nines is weighted somewhat heavily in your range. But obviously you can just range bet flop and give up. Yeah, it's not that like you should never just, you know, give it up. It's just that it didn't put any money in whatsoever and has allowed me to check down threes. Maybe I'm being results orientated, I don't know. Jack 9 has no EV doing anything other than betting, I think. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, the way I would probably do it is range bet the flop and then take it from there. Warning. Oh, I've got a warning. Oh no. Fold here. Warning, the stream's current bit rate 32 is lower than the recommended bit rate. Oh no. That's bad news. We recommend that you use a stream bit rate of 68. Oh fuck. Does anyone know what that means? I think that's my internet connection, isn't it? Hopefully the stream doesn't fuck up. I don't know if there's actually a way to change that and like reduce the quality of it, I think, is what would need to happen. Like go to 720p or something, isn't it? But I don't know if I can do that in the middle of a stream. Again, something for you guys to let me know, I guess. Mr. Dylan Bradley, oi oi mush. Hello, sir. Oi oi. That's such a UK. Oi oi mush is like the most UK greeting in the world, isn't it? It's great. Queen 6 looks to me like it might be a fold, which is quite depressing, but I think it's probably the play. Yeah, it's lower than the recommended bit rate. You fucker. Ah, now it says the stream is back and healthy. Okay, we'll survive. Hopefully we don't run into technical issues. I mean, what day is it? Tuesday. Tuesday night? Should the internet be bad? I don't know. I guess 8-7 can go multi-way here. The idea is that, like, if we hit our hand, it's relatively clean. A lot. It's not obviously a fist bump by any stretch of the imagination, but that's not a bad result. Snap check's a good result. I am going to bet small. Like multi-way, you just don't need to bet very big to generate folds. Okay. Should I check? And then check raise him. That could also be an option, I guess. That's a fucking good river. I can block or I can check. I don't think I want to go any bigger. I want to make sure he raises a 3 if he's got a 3. So I think I'm just going to go block, get him to raise a 3 and then jam it in. Because if I go too big here, he just calls pocket 3s and that's fucking awful. There you go. So it's kind of just like, if you have the nuts, try and get the maximum from like the second nuts. This is a really obvious example of it. But I think a lot of people would make the mistake of just going really big with 8-7, but it's just like you now never win a stack. Whereas, I'm not saying I'm going to win a stack, but at least I might. Because if he's got pocket threes, he's now in a fucking spot, and he might not fold it. Whereas if you just overbet there, you never win a stack. So at least we're giving ourselves the chance, and that's kind of the idea behind the strategy there. So whilst, yes, we lose value from a hand like, you know, fucking Queen Jack or something like that that's only ever going to call and probably would call versus big sizes as well. I'm not too worried because he has pocket threes in this line like every time, and he'll have ace-3 and stuff like that. So I'd rather go after that with the block making raise than I would just pick something kind of shitty 75 pot or overbet or something. Jack 2 rainbow should be pretty fucking sweet for a high frequency C bet. Even though we have polarized a little bit, it's still going to be fine, and I'll simplify this down to a range bet. Oh, well, I think we might be going broke here, boys. So just going to 2E it, and then we're going to jam the river. We block Queen Jack suited, which is nice. We might have King Jack off, which we block. We have no showdown value. Block queens if he flats queens. It's about as clean a fucking bluffing candidate as I could possibly pick. We also have outs. You know, calls a turn with 9s and we river a king. That's going to be pretty sweet too. So yeah, it's about as good a bluff as you could possibly dream up in that kind of scenario. Who are you? That is Sergeant Dokes from Dexter, also a great TV show. Don't know who this is yet, so I'm not going to carve out a flying range. Because it kind of looks semi-reggy. It means my computer is a potato. Hey! It probably is. I think it's 4 years old now. No, that's a lie. In 2021 I got this. Yeah, 3.5 years old. What the fuck? How do you play 200 and L and have potato? Was it the internet or is it potato fucking computer? I don't know. The computer's fine. I think the computer is still pretty sharp. I think it is the internet that is the potato in this regard. We can blame BT for that. He usually plays higher. I do. I mean, I don't know how playing 200 and L correlates to potato internet. It's out of my control, I'm sorry. Unless I get some kind of like direct line in here. You know, get a special internet line in. I mean, the internet is reliable. I don't know if it's the fastest. I think it's like 50, I don't know, is it 50 meg? I think it's upload speed though, isn't it? This is what I learned from YouTube before. I think it's upload speed that dictates your stream. And my upload speed was 17 gigs, I think. I think it's gigs, isn't it? Which I don't think is the best. I don't think it's the worst. But again, you know, I'm not on like the Uber internet package because I don't stream and I don't need to be, really. And I don't game or anything like that. Because if I gamed, I would literally never get anything done. hard enough as it is. Yeah, there we go. Potato internet, but it seems to have recovered, to be fair, since that little blip 5 minutes ago. Ace-2 will fold. Not really doing anything with the 2-5, so this is Welsh Gaz. Hello, Welsh Gaz, if you're watching. Can I value bet? I think it's a bit too thin to value bet here. Versus the button, maybe, but versus under the gun, his range is just too strong, unfortunately. So checks twice and then bets the river. I think a big question here is what he does with ace high. I don't think he's going to snap bluff ace high. And then therefore, how much of his range is air here. He still has quite a bit. Just like random queen 10 and stuff. Is he allowed to bluff all of that on that run out? Probably not a million miles away. It actually feels close. I'm going to spin the wheel. Okay, 49 equals call. I probably shouldn't use like all of my time bank on a like 10 big blind pot, should I? But you know, the bluff catching spots I will, you know, genuinely try to. There's a lot of working out that goes into it, essentially. And I'm very fortunate that in this stream so far, a lot of them have been right, actually. 7-6 will play 3-bet or call. I mean, 270 big blinds deep. Who the fuck knows? I guess 3-bet. And I think this guy's still actually this is close. I think bet. This guy's still just got a like. I think he's just gonna c-bet like with the recreational in there. He's still got like 10s and jacks and stuff, but there's just a lot of air in it. Like the perfect plan is to get called by him and then fold this guy out. He Hollywoods the call on the flop, which I think is genuine. Looked genuine. So I think he's kind of in between calling and folding. So I think I'm actually going to check the turn here and then call the river. So I think I can just induce a bluff now from just like ace queen, ace jack. And he'll just check down 5s. And I don't think there's any more value in betting. So yeah, we're just shrug and check here. And I think we just beat 5s or ace queen a lot. Cool. Get a lead. Wow. Yeah, with this guy behind, I think we're unfortunately out of there. It's a nice one for timing that. Like, this is why I don't like to play many tables, because like if you can like genuinely pick up on a timing tell pretty quickly and pick up on someone's indecision, you can just range them like quite accurately really quickly. What did I want to do? Let's look at the Instagrams. Cool. Cool. 10-9. Yeah, I mean, we're deeper. So it's kind of like live poker this. If there's a recreational in there, I'm in there as well. It's not a great call, but we'll go with it. Fold jack, please. Let's play heads up. That ain't going to be strong all that often. I'm really kind of tempted to raise here. Yeah, I think raise is quite nice. Kind of idea is that's not strong very often. Might even be able to fold out like some, you know, ace-9 or something like that. This guy's still going to call really wide though. So again, this is kind of like a way I'm like trying to ISO the fish. It's not strictly value, right? That can obviously happen as well, but the way I kind of envisage that hand playing out is like this guy calls and then Jack Oliver folds. And then we get to play heads up with the fish, who's still just going to fucking have like a really wide range and continue too wide versus the check raise. So it's not like I'm going, oh, I've got 10-9, I'm going to value raise here. It's just kind of, I'm trying to like your ISO a recreational pre-flop, I'm trying to do that here. And obviously you have the added benefit of them both folding because it looks just quite strong as well. So yeah, multi-way in it as well. There's no solvers for multi-way. Maybe there is now. I don't know. The Russian, is it Rocket Solver? I see. Is it Jason did a video on bomb pots, which I haven't watched yet. But I mean, again, if you guys have not stumbled across Mr. Jace's videos on YouTube, the guy obviously played the highest of stakes for a very, very long period of time, and I've watched a lot of his stuff, and it's pretty fucking good. So yeah, go and watch that. He just done a video on bomb pots, which, as I say, I haven't watched, but I think I heard someone mention Rocket Solver somewhere. I think that's, yeah, as I say, something that the Russians use a lot for multi-way. So, yeah. Ace-8, I'm not ecstatic to put any money in just yet. Yuri says, honestly, I think it's all fine for this type of content. Yeah, I mean, look, if I was going to start streaming, obviously, you know, full time, which I'm not, and as I say, it's just a little bit now before this boot camp sort of thing, then yeah, I would upgrade my internet and I would make, you know, all the fancy streamer, you know, panels and get the chat in the right fucking place and all this sort of stuff. Then I absolutely would do that, but because that isn't part of my plan, I'm not just going to do it for the sake of it. Kind of like editing the videos and stuff like that as well. So again, like, you know, I'm good friends with Gazzy B, as I'm sure a lot of you are aware. And he messaged me quite recently about like the editing on the other YouTube videos I was we'll free bet this that have been uploaded, and gave me like some really, really good fucking tips on like adding music behind and all of these things that can improve retention and stuff like that. But I'm just lazy. And it's just a lot of work, and I just, you know, I just can't be bothered, to be fair. And you know, as I say, for you guys watching, if that's something that, you know, loses me a few watchers or something like that because the videos aren't nicely edited and there's no music behind or whatever, then fair enough. But I just, for me anyway, I think, and this is something you mentioned to me, I just, it's for the poker, you know, everything else is kind of just extra noise. So it's, you know, more raw and unedited. But I've had a lot of positive, because I think I mentioned that in one of the other videos. Like, I know a lot of people just said, we don't care, like, we're just here for the poker, which is, again, really nice to hear. And I'm not trying to market this to a million people as well. I am going to call here and try and go multi-way. We've succeeded, but we've missed the flop. I think 3-2 versus 2.5 is a fold. What was I going to say? Yeah, because, I mean, honestly, the primary reason that I do YouTube stuff and things like that is to have like some extra income from coaching, right? And I mean, I know there's a lot of people, like content creators out there who will just upload YouTube just for uploading YouTube. I think Benabadbeat's one of them. Who, again, I'm just plugging everyone else's YouTube here. Obviously, you don't need me to tell you how good of a player Benabadbeat is, and a very, very nice guy as well. But like his YouTube is just, it's almost like a, you know, a little bit of a blog, for example. Gazzy B's is also the same. It's just a blog and things like that. He's just doing it for like his own enjoyment and so on. But my sort of content is very much sort of, you know, it's kind of like a advertisement for my coaching. Like the main reason I decided to do, you know, coaching one-to-one and then the boot camp and stuff like that is because in the UK here, we're very lucky that we don't have to pay tax on anything that we make in terms of poker, which is fantastic. But one of the downsides is like if I wanted to get a mortgage or something like that, like I don't exist on paper. So one of the reasons that I try to, you know, oh, it's megabyte, is it? Sorry, right. I didn't know if it was gig or megabyte. What was I trying to say? We'll call the 9-8. King, queen, sort of whatever. Maybe I could stab it, actually. Oh, I've lost my train of thought. Yeah, having something on paper, essentially, so that I can pay some tax, essentially, and, you know, eventually get a mortgage and stuff like that. So my coaching, I pay tax on, essentially. Should we bluff king queen? I have no showdown value. It's a pretty good run out for me. I definitely can value bet a 10. Let's go for it. Let's block and try and fold Joaquin off ace high. I'm going to bet 9-8 on the 30. I can't remember if I rolled it or not, but we'll go with it. And I might actually bomb the turn here. I think I'm going to play pot or check. It would be thin with the 9-8. So I definitely don't think it's every time. But I think you could argue for it. We get cut by ace high, get some protection. Get cut by worse, 5, 6s, 4x and stuff still. But we'll let the gods decide in terms of the RNG, and we get a pretty shitty river. But hey, we might win. Nope. I think that's probably a value bet. Unless he thinks that I've got lots of bluff candidates and I'm going to over bluff. Might be true actually, so I don't mind check. So anyway, yeah, like the reason that I, you know, the main reason I post the YouTube stuff is to like advertise the coaching essentially, and that's what obviously, you know, a lot of people do in the YouTube space. So the original point that I was trying to make was that I'm marketing the YouTube and stuff to a very, very, very small and niche group of people. Why am I spinning the RNG here? Do I want to bet ace 10's a nice check? We'll check. That's a good turn. So I don't, like, my kind of logic is like, do I need the fancy editing and stuff like that? If I'm not really trying to grow the channel, I'm just kind of marketing it for coaching. Do you see what I mean? If I was trying to grow the channel and become a YouTuber or something like that, then sure, I would do all of these things. But because that's not really my goal, I'm not really bothered. Reliable, definitely better than fast for poker. You don't need any speed really. Yeah, exactly. As long as the internet doesn't drop, it's fine. And yeah, 17 megabytes upload then, not gig. Maybe people do have 17 gigs of upload these days. I don't know. Such is the world that we live in. Can you repeat what is the name of the channel? Oh, I plugged a few. Ben a Bad Beat. Go and follow him. Jaser. I think it's Jaser 1337. Russian guy. Played high stakes for years. Incredibly clear thought process. Extremely good player. Yeah, go and follow him on YouTube if you haven't seen his stuff. I could overbet here. I could range bet. Let's go with a range bet. Jack 4. What's my size here? Probably bigger, and therefore we'll check. So yeah, Jaser, Ben a Bad Beat, Gazzy B. Go watch him. Of course. What other YouTube? Salo Costa's obviously a very good YouTube. You know, these are all people I watch. Felix Pokerflex, one of the lesser known YouTubes. He's an incredibly good player. I'm going to overbet Jack 4 here, which looks a bit thin, but I think we can do it. Yeah, Jaser, yeah. Yeah, Pokerflex, Felix, is it Meyerhofer? I think is his name, full name. But GW Value Town, and he's like really, really good player. Plays in my games and plays a lot higher now as well. I think he plays like 2K a lot as well. Just gonna go and try and stack this guy here. But he's one of the lesser known YouTube pages, definitely. But I've been watching him for ages, and yeah, he's brilliant. And I went on his channel, and we've had a lot of conversations. And yeah, he's just so incredibly like clinical and clear cut with his thought process, and he plays really fucking well. So yeah, go and follow him. Like, very theory orientated with his thought process, and he's really good to learn from. King Jack will fold. I'll talk about this hand in a second. Who else is there? Alan Finn, great channel to follow. I think he's taken a break from like YouTube and streaming, but he's like one of the most prolific people to upload like content there is. Like, just works incredibly hard, and I think that's why he's taken a bit of a break. To be fair, because he's just kind of worked very, very consistently and very hard for a long period of time, but also a good page to follow. Like, he's a good fun watch as well. Like, he's obviously, again, good player. Lots of instructive stuff that you can learn from his channel, but also is just like a really energetic guy and just kind of like good fun to watch. Watching his stream feels like you've just done like a line of cocaine, essentially. It's great fun. Not that I would know what that's like. I'm not a drugs guy. This is a PG stream. The Queen's M. Recreational player. He checks back the flop. Recreationals do slow play. This is the thing. So again, I'm just kind of using the very sort of basic logic of I have the nuts. This guy might be very passive. He's checked back the flop. I'm going to try and win as much money as I possibly can from him. So we're going very big on the turn, and he calls, which is nice. And then we're going to play for all of the chips on the river. Just like, that's a nut. I flopped another flush. This is amazing. Just rule number one, like, if you have the nuts, especially versus a recreational, just play for the lot. But in general, just find a way to play for all of the money. I don't think I'm going to raise this on. I think it's a pure call here. I would like an all heart flop on this one as well, but maybe that's greedy. It's not far off. I don't really want to raise a 10 high flush here. Like, I think your raising range is built around like nut flushes and stuff. The board can still change really often here. So I think I'm actually going to play this one very passively. We're also really deep, so it's not like I'm like, oh, fist pump, I've got a flush, I'm going to get it in. Because if we're facing aggression, it's already kind of like not ideal. I thought I had a straight flush for a minute. Checking the river here, and versus equanimity here. This is a range bet. Do I want to jam or do I want to call? I think I want to call 6-5 a little bit more. I'm definitely going to call like Jack X here. I'm not going to, like, my shoving range is pairs a lot. And I think like shoving like King 10 of hearts might be a little bit better or something like that than 6-5, just because the pair outs that I have are kind of shitty. So I think like calling this one, and then yeah, like Queen 10 of hearts, shoving that a little bit better. Unfortunately, just folding now. Nothing really to be done, I don't think. Can't call, and jams pretty fucking awful. Is it awful? Oh, do I fold ace king? I can't think of a better bluff. I've time banked for too long. I'm gonna fold because I've time banked for too long. That's a fold with 10-9. Yeah, it's really annoying. I time banked for way too long. Because the more I look at that on the turn, the more I think it might be a jam. Because what else do I jam? Like, if I'm just jamming like my, you know, King 10 of hearts on the flop, for example, like, what do I arrive here that then bluffs the turn? Because I'm going to slow play like Jack 10 on the flop quite a lot. And then I think I want to jam some of that trips region on the turn, just to ensure we stack kings and aces. So then this would be a pretty good bluff, I think. And I do think he can still have ace king and just bet fold it. Yeah, I should have jammed. The issue is, I think that I just time bank for too long. And therefore, like, I don't know how much equanimity would read into timing tells there, but like if I've time banked and then jammed, it's not, I don't know, it's not necessarily weak, is it? I don't know, I got paranoid. Probably not my finest hand, that one, but you know. Very rarely are they. Always going to make mistakes. Can we defend 10-4? I kind of want to. I mean, the fact he looks kind of like a reg, but he's also like unknown to me, which makes me want to defend a bit wider. Because you know I've played on stars for a long period of time. Like if there's a reg who's unknown, it's likely that they're shot taking or something, or there might not even be a reg. So therefore, I think we can defend a bit wider. And it's right on the cusp anyway, 10-4. So yeah. Now I'm going to bluff, I think. I don't think check works. It's not really a hand I want to check raise. I think I've got a lot of hands that want to bet small. I think I've got some hands that want to bet big. This might actually be one of those where I don't usually do this, but I think I'm going to split. And have a big size built around a 7 and a small size built around like 6x and stuff. And then just put this into a bit of both. That's actually a really high EV river for me. So I can still value bet a 7 because he's still got like aces and shit. And I'm going to be allowed to bluff really often. I could jam actually as well. Alright, we'll go block this time. I'm going to play like block and jam, I think. Jam for boats, block for an 8 and 7x. I still obviously just fold out 2 diamonds here, which is pretty fucking fantastic. I think if he's in the time bank for this long, we're in trouble though, but we'll live. Yeah, I'm going to bet the turn with king queen. Doesn't need to be overly big. I think we can just fold a 3. See so much equity as well. A6, eh? I mean, yeah, sure. I think I'd prefer a raise if I was him. I might win here, so I think I'm just going to give up. I also don't think I'm getting into fold much, so. Yeah, I don't know. A6 it kind of looks like a raising candidate. Call, I think, is just kind of ambitious, to be honest. Because this is like one of those runouts where I think it's like bluff every bluff territory at this point. Because so many of my bluffs come from a 9 or an 8 on the turn. I'm going to defend this one as well. I also don't really know this guy. So I think like if I'm allowed to bluff every bluff, it's hard to over bluff if you're allowed to bluff every bluff. So yeah, I don't know how profitable that call is, but it could be fine for what it's worth. It's a pretty cool hand to pick actually, but like in terms of a theory call, it's probably not a bad one. So yeah, I think we just pure call queen 6. I really fucking want to raise this shit. I don't think I'm allowed to fold a pair for that size. At least a pair on the board with 5 clean outs. He shouldn't really have a 10, but he might. Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough. 9-8. Oh, could see bet. Sure. Could check as well. I think everything's good with this one. What are your tags? Green, recreational. Pink, VIP. They're very recreational. I could check raise or check call. I think check raise like 6-7 diamonds. Check call 9-8. Still think it's a call. Continue. What did I say? Yeah, purple is like some kind of like potential semi-recreational / reg thing, where I'm not kind of convinced either way. Like this guy who I played the other day got that tag. Who, as I say, you look at his stats and you think it's quite reggy, but he's doing some weird and wonderful fucking shit. And then what else we got? Orange is an unknown reg, and then red, blue, and green. Red, blue, and green. Red, blue, and yellow are different categories of reg. And I've already revealed that red is a little bit more aggressive. So, I mean, it doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure out what yellow and blue mean at the end of the day. So, I may as well just come out with it. But blue is going to be a reg who's a little bit more on the passive side overall. And then yellow is going to be something in between. So, there you have it. It's not really revealing too much, I don't think. In the grand scheme, I'm going to ISO nice and big because Queen 10 is a nice hand. Even better now. Limp call 33/0, like passive, right? So I'm just going to start firing the money in as much and as big as I possibly can. It's a fucking great start. We love snap calls. I'm actually going to scroll up on the turn. I think he's got a lot of call turn fold river. Snap me again, please. Damn it. Flopped pretty well. Haven't I really? Like overall. Yeah, so this guy, like, recreational players, right? The more passive they are, the more you just fucking kick the front door in. And just go, there's no need to, like, bet small here. Like, just fucking pummel it in. They're going to call anyway. And they're not going to raise you. So, like, if they're not going to raise you, a lot of the EV of betting small with strong hands is to get raised. Like, if you know, the guy's really passive and he's not going to raise, then the EV of betting small drops just significantly. So you may as well just fucking put the money in. Hence, we did what we did with the Queen 10. I'm going to check A6 pure on the turn. I can't really understand why I would bet, to be honest. I mean, I guess it wouldn't be the worst thing in the world. It's one of those, like, these monotone boards for, you know, on the turn. Like, on a 4 straight board, there's always, like, and I mean, this also applies here. There's always, like, the risk of a chop. So you can, like, fold out air to stop the chop happening. Might also apply here, but, like, I would get a bit lost if I started betting third pair here. In all honesty, so could probably bet quite wide actually, but even down to some hands that don't have diamonds in, I would imagine, but not that one. I need to give myself some disk space. So I just panic about it. I just everything gets saved in this. I need like a computer guy. Everything gets saved in the C drive, and I've got 2 external hard drives where nothing gets saved, but like I know how to like move a video over and save it into a different drive and stuff like that, for example, but I don't know what all of that stuff, you know, where all of that stuff comes from and how to change it. I'm going to open the King 4 nice and wide. This guy's a mega nit by the looks of things. Oh, fuck me. Sorry, I'm just doing stuff on the other screen. Alright, we're back. What time are we on? 10 to 6. Yeah, so I'm going to go till 7. That's the plan. And then we'll call it there. And then, yeah, video with our mid-stakes, fellow mid-stakes crusher. I think you can call him a crusher, to be fair. I've seen his most recent graph. It's pretty fucking impressive. So, yeah, that's going to come this week. And then I probably will do another stream. Maybe Friday night, depending on what I'm doing. I'm not doing anything social. Saturday night, I am doing social things. Sunday as well, maybe. I'll probably be quite hungover on Sunday, so we'll see. See how it goes. But yeah, a couple before the boot camp starts. Boot camp, for those of you unaware, starts on the 9th of December, targeted at people who play 25 and L. Let's free bet this guy. We want to ISO him. 25 and L, 50 and L, 100 and L. But if you play other stakes, you can still join. There are a handful of spots remaining, and by a handful, I literally mean 3 or 4. Otherwise, I'm just going to give myself too much work to do. So go to my Instagram and have a look at what's included, or there's a YouTube video literally titled "I'm running a boot camp." I'm going to check this actually. Where I went into like a 15-minute monologue of everything that's included. So go and watch that. Essentially, it's just like a group coaching program where you get 4 one-to-one sessions with me, and then 8 group sessions, where I'm looking to take lots of 50 NL players, 100 NL players, and make them better for a rate that does not cost the world. So if that sounds like a little bit of you, you can head to the link tree that's linked below, click bootcamp, sign up, fill out the form that takes 30 seconds, and then I'll be in touch. Do I bluff? Do I fucking bluff? My worry here is he's actually got quite a strong range that doesn't fold. Like, I think he can play sets this way because he's terrified of the flush completing. And I do beat a lot of just random bluffs. Like, if I was to bet, I'm trying to fold him off like 10s or 9-10 or something, but I still think his range is quite strong. Yeah. That's the worry, in that he has all of these sets in this line and he'll never fold them to a shove, which he probably should consider at least. I think this hand makes a pretty good jack. So I think that one's like a little bit of a bullet dodged even. Because when he checks the river there, you're like, oh, he never has a flush, and then it's very easy to just go, oh, he never has a flush, we'll go all in. But if he doesn't value bet sets and stuff like he fucking should, do I have showdown value here? I don't fold him off a pair, I just fold him off ace high. Ace 10, ace jack. I don't know if he has enough of it. I might still have showdown value as well. Yeah, I think I'll give up. That's annoying. But I still don't even think he folds it, to be fair. What was I going to say? Yeah, so I think it's a pretty nice give up, that one. Because I just think we actually end up getting overcalled there, when you consider that he's still got so many strong hands in this line, even though it doesn't contain flushes. What does 2E mean? 2E means like geometric. So having the same, so if you bet that, whatever size you bet on the turn, the same size that you bet on the river will be for all in, essentially. Just a nice way of doing sizing sometimes, where you don't have to click one of these buttons. Just fold the queen 6, I think. So oftentimes I'll go when I check raise, for example, I'll go 3E, and then you can go 2E and stuff like that. I am going to check raise king jack, but not every time. Yeah, we'll check call this time then. Only going for the small raise here. Like king, king, 9, both ranges just have a lot of air, and you can check raise like pocket 5s to fold him off 10-8 offsuit and shit like that. It's kind of a weird sort of strategy, but definitely works. This is the second time I've seen this like weird 1/3 in position, and it is always my inclination that it is bullshit. So yeah, let's go with a small raise. I don't think we want a big raise, right? I think we want a small raise. Basically because I want to raise king 3 and get called by 2 10s, which if I had 2 10s, this might be a size I would, want to bet. This dude, I can just bet really wide. My suits kind of make me want to check, to be fair. Yeah. Size does a king want to bet? How much is a king worth? Do I want to check? No. Let's go with that. What size do I want to bet here? I don't think this needs to be big. I think we just apply infinite pressure with a small bet here. Like, what the fuck do you do with 2 7s? What do you do with jack 10? If he jams here, I will really not enjoy it. And then I really will have to think. Aces would make sense. Aces would make a whole host of sense. If he time bank jams, that is also something I should factor in. The longer it goes, surely I don't get a jam now. Like now, if he jams now, I'm actually terrified. I'm probably folding. He was never jamming, was he? Yeah, maybe he did just have 10s and was considering stationing. Could do a myriad of different strategies here. I'm just going to go range bet small and go about my day like that. Could also do a myriad of strategies here. I'm also just going to go range bet small. I'm in that kind of mood. I'm not really in the kind of mood to polarize. Sometimes I will. Sometimes I'll throw it in. Sometimes it depends on the day. Do I want to block the turn with king queen to fold him off 10s and stuff? Or do I want to check? I think if I block, it's built around an ace. I think block makes the most sense, really. Like overall, to kind of try and keep his range. Like if you go too big, like you're just making it really easy for a king. So I think if we had like ace 5, block kind of makes sense for like, putting him into a tough spot with 2 9s and making a king always call, I think. On the river, how do we want to do this? I mean, I could check jam. That would be pretty sick. I could block. To get called by like jack 10, he might raise that though. I think check. I wouldn't be in a massive hurry to like bet ace 9 if I was equanimity here. I think I will play some check jam, but you do have to be really fucking careful, especially versus someone who's quite good in terms of like our bluffing frequencies here. So I am gonna like, if he bets, I would be jamming at some frequency, but it would be like low on the RNG just to kind of ensure that I'm not just getting incredibly out of line. And then, he has a really profitable call with every fucking ace. 3s. I mean, yeah, I don't know. That feels like a bluff to me. If it's not, I mean, I would probably bomb the turn, but if it's not, it feels like a river bluff. It really does. I don't think you're really arriving with much worse. Then again, though, how much value do you have? How, do you want to reopen the action with an ace? I think is a valid thing to consider. Hello, may I ask what your orange tag means? Yes, the orange tag just kind of means unknown reg. Unknown regular. Jack 3 will call. Ace King, I guess we'll call without really adoring it. This is Mr. Ace King from before, isn't it? Gives us a quick 25%. Not ideal. I'd like a club in my hand. Do I ever fold Ace King on the flop? Ace King off to this. I might, you know. That might be good. It might be the like tightest and worst fold of my life. It does just feel like I'm already pretty indifferent. With no club in my hand. You know, and like the ability to improve is really slim. I don't know, I might just be a big nit with that one. Actually, I'll probably, again, one of those in my own time. Oh, I've lost it now. Oh, well, I'll make a mental note to check it. But yeah, I might be just being a big nit there. That I probably am. But it does feel kind of thresholdy. It does feel kind of close. I'm not going to lie. I also do think that pre-flop, like, you know, the big 4-bet here, which is a great size, you know, when we're this deep, but, and I don't have anything to back this up, but it feels strong, at least. You know, I feel like when you do get 200 big steep, like it does take an extra pair of, like, balls to find 4-bets, because you're going to play a big pot. But I don't have any data to back that up, but the feeling is that it might be a little bit stronger. Like it's still, you know, like what you should be finding here is like, you know, King 10 suited, Ace 10 suited and stuff like that. And when you're 200 big steep, it might just be a little bit too tempting to click the call button. So I don't know. If a gun to my head, I'd say that 4-bet's probably a little bit too strong, but could be very wrong. But if it is too strong, then this fold becomes a little bit better. But again, roast me in the chat. I might just be being a big nit. I'm really tempted to value bet my 7 here. Do you know what I am going to? Because I think I get a lot of protection from ace high as well. Like fold ace high, get called by every 3 and 2. And obviously check the river. I think it's too thin to triple, but I expect to win a healthy frequency of the time, unless he leads, and then I might be in big trouble. Have 4-3. King 2, wow, Jesus. Okay. Would be 3-betting this usually on this roll, but again, deeper, you're flat a little bit more. Are we going to get into some trouble here? Snap check, okay. Might be a range check. I don't want to go that big. I'm going to go pot. Am I ever checking 9s? No. No, I am not. Okay, quick call. What am I playing for stacks? That looks too big. 2x looks too big because I still want to value bet ace queen. So I'm going to pick a size like ace queen, ace jack that I'm still going to bet. So I'm going to go with pot. The good news is he doesn't have many flushes because of the nature of the board. Yeah, obviously the case 9, but that doesn't make up a lot of his range. The good news is he also just has a lot of ace-x, so I think we're going to value bet. Sizing wise, what we're trying to make indifferent here on this river, an ace. I think that size makes an ace indifferent. I don't think my hand's worth any more than that. Like, if you got ace 10 here, you're in trouble. If he jams, I would probably call. Because, like, I think it's quite easy to kind of not think through the river jam there. Like, people get obsessed with blockers in this sort of spot, so they'll arrive here with ace queen, with the queen of diamonds, and be like, I block the nuts, therefore it's a great hand to pick, I'm all in. But you just don't have queen x of diamonds here. And I'm not sure, I'm not convinced that you're going to jam for 200 bigs 9-8 of diamonds. So, yeah. Fuck off. I don't love that turn, but I really don't love that turn. The ace is going to be really bad. He has a lot of ace x. Yeah, going to check. And then I'm going to fold. How passive are you? A little bit more reggy, so I'm just going to go with a little bit more of a default here rather than just like go absolute full scale exploit recreational kind of thing. Okay, time bank call, kind of annoying. Because time bank call here is just weak. Could be considering raise, but it's just really unlikely. So I don't think it really matters unless he's improved on the turn what I do here, because I just think he's folding to every size. So may as well overbet. But I think my hand's too strong to check. Yeah. Yeah. Also, I can't just place my whole strategy's weight on, what might be quite an inconspicuous timing read. I'm not, 100% confident in that timing read, so can't adjust too hard. King Queen is probably approaching very indifferent at this point. Kind of hope he jams so I don't have a spot. Okay. In position, good. Dominated by his 4-betting range, bad. Deep, good. So let's spin. I think would be the play. Hello.
Hi.
Do you want to come say hello to YouTube?
No.
Why not?
Are you live streaming right now?
I'm live streaming to 59 people currently.
No.
Come on, they're nice and friendly. What are you looking for?
I'm going to be leaving.
What time?
6:50.
Well, come say bye then.
No, I'm not doing that. You can end that.
Oh, I can end it. Okay, alright then. That seems fair enough. Okay, thanks, bye, love you, miss you. So I'm probably ending the stream at 6:50 because my other half is going out at that time and she doesn't want to come on camera and say bye to me and give me a kiss on camera. So tough because, what content that would be. Do I bluff the river? Yes, I think we do. I think this just gets through. Oof. Good luck, lads. was just kind of intrigued to see what that is. Oh, that's bad news. Queen Jack 10. Sorry, Sanctity, but I'm going to root for the recreational here. So yeah, we'll go for another 40 minutes. Is my maths right? Yeah. So this guy has only 2 now. Do I even want to ISO him? Or do I want to go multi-way? No one's really incentivized to, like, if I flat, no one's really incentivized to kind of re-raise. So may as well just raise myself. Oh, he wins. Nice hand. Do you know what? Like, if I'm gonna lose an all-in, losing one for 7 big blinds, I'm okay with. Kind of been a weird sort of like stream in terms of the results, isn't it? I think I got to like 200 big blinds on both tables pretty quickly, and then just nothing has happened for an hour and a half since. I think we can make an argument with 2 recreationals here to opening Queen 10. Probably fine. Want to be in the hand with them. And I'm going to bet 40%. I think that's about right for Queen 10. Snap call. Yeah, I'm going to bet again. It's kind of interesting with my size here, what I want to do. I think he calls twice really often, but I also think I could value bet the river every now and again, but I might go bigger, which means I probably can't value bet the river that much. I'll go something in between. I want to keep it. I want to keep the option open for value betting the river. It might be a bit thin, but I think betting the turn's great on that kind of connected turn, because he's just, you know, 7-5 never folds, does it? I've checked twice very quickly here. And not really paid this hand any attention. I mean, it's too good to fold. I'm going to lead. I'm going to lead all day. I think we can make him fold 1 pair. I don't think we want to go too big. I don't think we need to go too big. 5 will do it. But yeah, I think we make him fold quite a lot here. Definitely don't make him fold that though. It's kind of ironic there. Like, well, ironic's probably the wrong word, but like I think obviously aces snaps you off. But like I think if he's got like king 10, which is essentially the same fucking hand, he'll probably fold that. I think that's actually a free bet 31% of the time. I've missed it, but there we go. Yeah, so king 6 is one of those hands that's going to go into both lines here. It's actually not a bad stab. I think we'd probably stab bigger as well. Go Jack X plus. And yeah, on that roll, we'll go with it. Can't get too out of line with the offsuit hands because we just have so many of them. But this one, in terms of like a polarized stab, is probably okay. Yeah, for kind of this reason, because this will probably become a pretty good bluff now. I don't think pure though as well, because the queen's not bad for imposition, and a lot of my value's devalued now. I'd rather have a spade. I think we'll mix the turn here. I think again we do have to be a little bit precarious is the wrong word. Precautionary. Even though it is a pretty good turn barrel, but I think with a spade it's nutted, and a pure spade, and this one I'll do like 50-50. It's actually not the worst river in the world, you know. I am going to raise him. Right, well, I'm going to bluff. Sizing wise, I think pot. No, I think 150 actually. I don't think he checks a 10. And also, like he's just really inelastic. I think if he time banks there as well, like he's kind of like, oh, can I value bet queen jack? No, I'll check. So I think a 10 can just go this. Fucking half pot. No, I think we're just exploitatively fold here. Half pot's not the bluff size, is it really? You kind of want to do the opposite, I think. Yeah, I think fold. This is one of those, like, intuitively to me, if I was going to bluff the river, it wouldn't be for fucking half pot. Like, it just seems like I want a crying call more than I want you to fold. That I could be really off with that, to be fair. Maybe I should call at least some of the time anyway, because I'm not 100% on that read. That might just be bias, but nice to get the king 6 through, definitely. Shooting off now. Good luck for the end of the session. Thank you, Dylan. Thank you for tuning in. Edmund Fitzgerald in the house. Hello, Eds. A very good friend of mine, Ed, plays as Fitzy123 on Stars. Long time study partner. And just an all-round good fucking bloke. So hello, mate. Thank you for tuning into the stream. I'm not sure I'm a stream king. It took me long enough to get it even fucking set up. King Jack is a thresholdy call for bet. We'll do it every now and again, which is not going to be that. It's not a great turn here. Definitely want to delay this sometimes, though. Not this time. Like, we do want to start turning it into a bluff a little bit, I think, here. King 6, 3 bet, 33%. Loose, but probably okay. Pots the river, does he? Yeah, I don't love call here. I think probably fold. Yeah, I think fold. Close. Oh, excuse me. It's definitely close. It's like the argument for call is obviously that he, range checks the flop and checks the turn really wide, and therefore, he has a lot of bluffs to pick from. Which means it's often easy to overdo, because in this kind of line, he's not allowed to bluff every bluff. But then he also thought he might overdo the gut shots on the turn. It's close. Again, maybe I shouldn't pure fold. Maybe I should RNG. This is the thing with bluff catching. I'm just going to fold to that. Very often you can have like the best, system in the world for bluff catching, and it's still going to be close. And then you end up using the RNG anyway, or whatever you want to do. Flip a coin or any other way that you can randomize. So cold calling wanted to go multi-way with this guy who seems very recreational. Crazy macro ISOs and then checks the flop. That's not really going to reveal too much regarding the strength of his hand. I don't think this is quite good enough to start bluffing here with two recreationals in there. With a recreational in there. It's going to range bet this one. And yeah, going to be folding here. Might cold call for this guy's benefit, actually. Something I do a lot, just recreational behind, cold call, keep them in as much as you can, and it will increase your EV. And like if you did play a cold calling range like ace queen off's not a bad one. Not a bad board for me. I think this hand could probably bet and check. I think we just stab small for what it's worth. I think equanimity probably range checks that. And I can kind of see ace queen becoming a bluff later in the betting line, but I can also see it, you know, checking back and going into that line as well. On the turn, the fuck is my size here? I think it probably wants to be bigger. I think if it is bigger, I'd probably check. The good thing about check as well is like equanimity will bluff on the rivers that we get there on. Ooh, do I raise? I actually don't think I raise here. I think I just call. Which looks tight, but like his range is just really strong, like overall. And I think raise is like too thin, genuinely. And yeah, that kind of, you know, logic applies with the, you know, he's going to bluff when we get there sort of thing. But yeah, I think it's too thin. It's like very easy for him to just have like ace jack quite easily, king queen quite easily, ace 10 very easily, ace 4, ace 7, aces, even though it's only one combo. Ace king as well. I don't think ace king blocks, but all of the above hands that I just mentioned could block free bet me, or at least consider it. I think slightly bigger here just to put a little bit more pressure on the gut shots. Actually, I think we could chat top set every now and again. Oh, look at this. We've just rolled the number. Gonna stop at 10. Like pure. I don't think we checked top set twice. It's actually just doing ridiculously well. Yeah. Just pure and pure on the turn. 8s. Yeah, I think you can maybe argue for like a low frequency barrel here. There's some very specific rivers, but low frequency is low frequency. With range bet the flop. Oh my god. So we do need to check the turn a lot, and I think it's very natural to polarize. That's a weird size. It's a very unnatural size to pick that. What on earth wants to bet that size? I don't think we continue eights either way. I think we're kind of fucked. It's interesting. Though I do know equanimity, like he does size or like think about sizing in like a different way than I do. I haven't spoken to him a little bit. Ace queen, yeah. Actually, I auto range bet there. I might have done something differently if I wasn't just autopiloting that one. King jack, a little bit deeper. Versus this dude who checks the flop. Interesting. The vibe I'm getting is passive. Yeah, I'm just gonna stop. If he check raises me, I will just fold for what it's worth. Hello, Matthew. No POKERSTARS select, just chests. Yeah, I did a POKERSTARS select at the start of the year, and really went for at least a few months quite hard after it, and was just battling it out, playing 500 zoom in reg only lineups, and that was, in retrospect, not the smartest thing to do in terms of my win rate. Plus, obviously, the zoom kind of games, when everyone sort of figured that out, they kind of died down, so it was harder to get volume in as well. And then yeah, I didn't hit the volume target, so they took it off me, and then I went back to chests. But I mean, now when 200 zoom doesn't actually get running until like 2 PM or whatever, even if I wanted to hit the volume target, I couldn't. So, or it would be really, oh well, for me anyway, because I don't really play at this sort of time very often. Check here, I think 8-6 doesn't have a lot of EV checking, annoyingly, but it's pretty weak to try and find a bet, so I think we just have to take our medicine, give up, and hope for a spade. Akalesh Singh, good luck, bro. Thank you very much, sir. I hope I pronounced your name correctly. Ace River, very bad. Ugh. We do want to bluff sometimes here, but I do think we need to be careful with our bluffs, so I'm actually going to give this up at a frequency. Okay, now where's the rest? I don't know, I mean, that just... Maybe misclicked, I don't know, that looks like a slam dunk value bet to me. Maybe he's petrified that I'm going to check raise him into oblivion. I mean, I have been known, but I wasn't check raising that. This guy's Finland, isn't he? Aggressive, passive, looks passive, looks passive. Looks passive until the turn. So I am going to start with a small c-bet and then I'm going to check. Just judging by the aggression frequencies here, he just seemingly bets turn and then bets river, so I'm going to let him do that. And I think ace-9 is a nice one to kind of allow that, to be honest. So kind of expecting him just to have sixes and just blast it now. But yeah, call turn, call river is the plan, unless something drastic happens. Not a great river. Yeah, for half pot we're not folding. As I say, could just be fucking king jack or something based on those kind of stats. And something sticks out in my head that he's done something like that before as well. And we only need to win 25%, so yeah, what you got? Nice hand. Very nice hand, very well played. I actually can't remember the last time I sat down like solidly for 3 hours or nearly 3 hours and just played without actually getting up and taking a break. It's quite hard work. So 2 fish. This is just going to go check a lot, which I don't hate, to be honest. Again, same guy, like he just checks back and then blasts. So maybe before he bets now. But... I don't mind it going check and then we can do things on the turn. Which I actually might now. Oh no. Let's just bet we won't. I was expecting them to check, and then I was considering whether I would go with a bluff or a check again and then check raise him. And the other guy was likely going to stab and do some really out of line shit, but so recreational you can do out of line shit. Sevens, yeah, might just call. When he's only got a 2% 3-bet, we're essentially closing the action, and like just the EV of going multi-way with this dude is just so pure that I think flatting outperforms what is a pretty whatever 3-bet anyway. Pretty quick check. I might get spicy here as well, you know. Yeah. Not now. I kind of had designs of bet, call, check, raise. Now we'll just call. And yeah, I guess just lead. What is a size that he calls Jack 10? Yeah, half pot seems right. Going to open the 7-6 because of this guy. And we'll 3-bet the queens and we'll c-bet the 7-6. And probably going to check actually on this one and call every river versus most sizes. Or value bet versus check. Snap pot's gross though. It's going to pure call the queens. Yeah, the speed of it and the fact it's pot is kind of unbelievably horrendous for us. If you remember the king jack hand, if this guy checks, I'm going to play it the same way. Fucking snap pot is a disaster. Yeah, I think for that we fold. Fast equals strong, pot equals stronger as well. If this guy bombs the turn, I'm seriously considering folding. The longer he takes, the less I am considering folding. Unless he takes this long and pots it, and then I'll probably fold. Yeah, time back half pot, I'm going to call. This is by no means a fist pump. Queen of hearts, please, dealer. It was a heart. Two bluff ace king. Yeah, I think fold. I think fold. How much time bank do I have? It was just annoyingly quick on the river, and I don't think it's just aces and kings way too much, and I don't think ace king is shoving the river that quickly as a general rule. I mean, he is Brazilian annoyingly, but yeah, I think fold. Pains me, but I don't think we can put too much weight on Brazil there. I'm kind of just thinking sort of shit recreational reg thing. Probably, you know, if it's let's check this. The other hand that was kind of in my head actually thinking about it was the king jack hand from before, where 3-bet, get jack 4-3 and then just check folded. So I'm not sure he's just going bet jam with all the ace king and stuff. So yeah, I think fold probably fine. Yeah, just check and lose here, that's fine. The time bank on the turn was nice, like, you know, a bit of indecision, but then the relatively swift river jam on a complete brick, with a lot less fun. And he's shown passivity in like a 3-bet pot before. I know this is a 4-bet pot, but yeah. If it smells like if it sounds like hooves, it's probably horses, not zebras. It's the saying, isn't it? I'm going to start bluffing. With King Jack. Carlos, good luck, bro. What do the color tags mean? I am revealing them today because I just can't be bothered hiding them anymore. It's not that difficult to figure out, I don't think. So green is recreational. This sort of purple is like semi-recreational, semi-reg. Pink is VIP. Orange is like an unknownish reg. Red is a more aggressive regular. Yellow is a little bit of a lesser aggressive regular, and then blue is less aggressive still, as a general rule. We're going to bluff this river. That's a pretty okay river to get. Sizing wise, I think actually overbet's pretty cool. I definitely could barrel this. I definitely could check it as well. Queen 10, call. The correct answer is raise. Oh fuck, we do get raised here. How good are my outs? Yeah, this is bad news. It's probably a fold. I think even when we improve, it's not great. He's not raising anything other than a flush. Maybe 8-7. So straight outs are kind of shit. And we're just drawing to a jack-eye flush from someone who looks really passive. So yeah, fold seems good. Where else are you playing currently? I play on iPoker at the minute a little bit. In the new year, I'm going to play on Coin Poker a bit more. And then as the year goes on, I'm definitely going to add more sites and table select a bit harder. This guy is just like really aggressive, following through on the turn, so I'm just going to fold there. I'd float that versus a lot of people. King 10's kind of close. It's not a squeeze. It's too shit to squeeze, but call's also shit. Do we have a lead? No. It's tempting. Just think we can fold this guy out and then play with this guy who might actually be recreational. Yeah, just call. I don't think raise already feels a little bit like ambitious, I think. And again, like king turn's going to be quite good where we'll keep barreling a lot. Snapchecks. Snapcheck's just never considering betting, which isn't that many hands, and I wouldn't say he's gonna like have much ace-x here. Annoyingly, like a 10 is a chop now. Pocket 8 or something. Let's go with 10%. I'm gonna. This guy stabs turn, right? So I'm gonna check and then raise. How do I feel about 11? I wanted to jam. I wanted him to half pot and then jam. Now I'm going to check jam. That's depressing. Just has king 7 suited, doesn't he? Oh, Simon. Do you know, I thought I would like talked about check raising the turn and didn't, because I was kind of there just like I really want a club. I don't like a club river. I think he's got a lot of one club hands. And then I thought about leading the river as well, and then I was like, no, this guy just bets the river. And then I can check jam. But then he didn't, and he checked back king queen, which is honestly just a fucking disaster. I literally won the absolute bare minimum there, which is kind of annoying, but there we go. Flatten the queen 10 because I'm playing more polarized 3-bets, and this doesn't really want to get 4-bet, so it's going to mix between 3-bet and call. On the flop, definitely could argue for a little bit of raise, so we'll argue for a little bit of raise, but mainly call. 2/3 pot, 7 of hearts. I think offsuit 7 would lead. I think 7 of hearts is a little bit more sort of neutral. And therefore no lead. This is not great. Wow, yeah, this is really not great. I think probably still call with queen 10. but it's like a puke sort of. I'm considering folding the turn sort of call. Maybe I should just fold a turn, genuinely. Oh, fuck off. This is going to end up being a break-even session, isn't it? King A, again a little bit deeper. We could probably flat. Vidal is aggressive though, like genuinely, like ridiculously aggressive. So probably going to avoid him. Oh, we're 22. I'm going to go for about 10 more minutes, and then we'll wrap it up. And then yeah, I'll probably see you guys in a couple of days, and we'll do this all over again. Queen 7-3 shoulders range bet. This is Finland from before, who played a not a weird hand actually, just jammed the river in a spot where a lot of people wouldn't. So I'm kind of intrigued to see what kind of moves he has. He hits me with a check raise, and we will be continuing with a call. And then evaluating from there. King 6. I mean, we got more EV calling because we get a better price, but we're still probably going to free bet this sometimes. Check, raise, check. I feel like if I bet again, I get double check raised a lot from this guy. It just seems like the type. There's not really many bad rivers either, so I'm going to check. And like, if I do get check raised, I don't love my life, basically. So I'm just going to avoid that for the time being. It's kind of semi-exploit thing, because I just feel like he's got some moves. On the river, yeah, just this is fine. Like, we don't need anything else. Like, it's just an unbelievably high EV run out for me. I should probably just bluff pocket nines at that point. And stuff like that, but yeah, and you don't need to go very big. I mean, when he just check raise, checks, his range is just kind of full of it anyway, really. Oh, I want to call, but 17, 18 is, yeah, not going to be overly recreational. So I'm not going to widen myself up too much. Sanctity, yeah, do I want to 3-bet? Probably like a small amount. How many amps per hour do you end up getting with 2 Zoom tables? 400, maybe? Fucking what a flop. I think 400, yeah, probably something like that. Maybe a little bit less because I'm slow. But like usually if you play 4 Zoom, it's about 700 to 800 hands an hour, isn't it? So, just, you know, divided by 2, I guess. But if I do play Zoom these days, obviously it's mainly for videos, but like I will just only ever 2-table it in this day and age. Do I want a pure check raise ace 5? I think we just play like endless amounts of like tiny check raise here, so we will go with it. Because he just has to defend fucking like Queen Jack of Spades to this and stuff, so it's not like we're losing out. Yeah, I think 3-bet the Jack 10. Ashley. I actually think it's a mix, isn't it? And this guy is a bit more aggressive, so I think the mix is probably the play. But yeah, gone are the days of me, like I used to do like 4 reg tables and 4 Zoom tables and shit, and just have like just you know 1,000 hands an hour of just fucking pure carnage. But it's just hard to have a good win rate when you're doing that. Like as I say at the start, I'm down this year at 200 Zoom, by like, I want to say 30 buy-ins or something. Something along those lines. But so much of that is when I was doing the rate back grind, and I genuinely went on, I think like a 70 or 80 buy-in. I'm gonna fold 6-5 because this guy's short. 70 or 80 buy-in downswing at just 200 zoom, and so much of that was me just like clicking buttons because I've got too many tables. So if I was to grind zoom again, pretty easy raise here. I'm going to go nice and big as well. If I was to grind zoom again, I would only ever do 2 tables, essentially. Slower is better for me. It took me, a long while to figure that out, but my win rate is just a lot higher when I just have a slower pace of play. Ooh. 5-4. Let's mix it up. Yeah, like low frequency at best, isn't it? Matthew, thanks. Is the goal to play as high as possible, or just to make a good living lower with less stress? My current goal is to go as high as I can. That is the ambition within me. Whether that changes in the future, with my circumstances changing, it might. I'm 33 at the end of the day, so marriage and kids will be on the horizon. So my goals might change, but as it stands, I just want to be the best player that I could possibly be, and go as high as I possibly can. I'm going to go for this guy. So yeah. Kyle says, don't forget Poker Tracker stats. Do you know, I hadn't forgotten what we caught to. Yeah, right, we'll set our next big blind. We'll check raise at the nuts. It's a shame. And then I'll give you the Poker Tracker stats. I'll show you like little sort of Poker Tracker pop-up I like look at the end of sessions as well, to show my stats. Judging by the amount of buy-ins, we have probably won precisely like 3/4 of a buy-in here. In the most uneventful fucking live stream of all time. But hey, I don't think we got stacked once. I just jinxed myself for the final couple of hands, but pretty like a low-key, low energy. I mean, I get such a good price, and this guy is just obviously bad, but it's so tight. Yeah. I mean, it's just too tight for me to be able to call that. That kind of hand anyway, like Queen 10's just like really sort of horrible and dominated. Give me like fucking 6-4 of diamonds and I'm in there, but yeah, Queen 10's just kind of bottom of the barrel stuff. Is that the last one? It is, right, cool. Poker Tracker stats. Let's see what happened then, shall we? So that was me playing 182 hands this morning when I had about 45 minutes spare and mounting graphing the shit out of it. Yeah, we won just under a buy-in. It was a lot more exciting than that. Let's have the red line. What was that hand? Oh, was that when I had queens and folded the river? I think it was, wasn't it? Yeah. Yeah, and I mean, and I wouldn't change that. It's a pretty tight fold in all honesty. But when his range that shoves the river is aces and kings for value. Yeah, the question then becomes, okay, I have a bluff catcher. I don't have pocket queens, I have a bluff catcher. Is he going to bluff too much or bluff too little? And the kind of vibe I was getting is too little. So yeah, we won just under a buy-in in that little live stream, and we, until that hand at least, had a relatively nice red line going on, like okay at least. I always look at the leak tracker to see how I ran today. Ran bad. Doesn't feel like it, but anyway. But one thing I do is I have this little leak finding report that I bring up quite a lot. Those were eye poker hands, I think, earlier on. Let me just try and get rid of them. Just so you're not getting two sets of stats here, which would be just annoying. Has that worked? It has not worked. Okay, well, we'll live. But yeah, this is one thing I do like at the end of sessions, or like if I need to just quickly have a glance at my stats, you know, over you know, like a month or something like that, to see how things are looking. So this is, okay, just pay attention to this. This is obviously the PokerStars hand, so 29, 20, whatever, 13% 3-bet, whatever. Really low went to showdown today. Low won at showdown today. Low woman till flop, low everything. But that kind of like a low-key session, wasn't it? So then I got like flop aggression, turn aggression, river aggression that I can have a look at. C-bet stats in the helicopter going over my house, in single raise pots and 3-bet pots, fold stats in single raise pots and stuff, donk stats, check raise flop, check raise turn, check raise river. So it's like this little report. I'm literally finishing in 2 seconds if you can wait.
Okay.
All right. Yeah, this little report is something I do just to check like stats in the medium term. Aggression frequencies and so on. So yeah, anyway, right, GG everyone. I hope you all enjoyed. I will do another stream maybe Thursday or Friday. Are we doing anything on Friday? We are?
Earlier in the day.
What are we doing?
Just finish up.
Oh, all right. I've got to go. Right, hope you guys